Good morning and good day and afternoon, and whenever you're watching this video, this is Tracy Brown, and I'm your somatic nutrition therapist and a tuned eating expert, and I want to say happy Friday. So I'm sitting at my kitchen table, and if you look closely, you might be lucky as we're talking to see some hummingbirds fighting and running around my feeder there. So it's one of I call it my movie of the day, depending on what they're doing. So just enjoy that if you see it. And good morning to everybody who's watching live. And I usually, if people are asking questions or have comments, I do tend to spend a little bit more time on Fridays, if possible, to just be here with you. So I call it Q&A Fridays. Sometimes it doesn't turn out that way. They're short videos. Sometimes they're long. So it just depends, and we'll see what happens. So as we wrap up talking about the function of emotional eating this week, I want to talk a little bit about, it's in two of my favorite books. So When Women Stop Hating Their Bodies and Eating Problems. So Eating Problems is a very dense book around all kinds of theories with emotional eating and body image issues. And one of the phrases they use in both these books is that oftentimes we have eating concerns, emotional eating, either emotional undereating or emotional overeating, when there's a prohibition against getting needs met. Now, it may not be that you're consciously or purposely doing it. It may just be your conscious or unconscious patterning, but it's in there. And so what does that look like? Well, prohibition from getting your needs met means that you might either know what your needs are, but you feel like they're too much. You feel like they're not going to get any way in the way you want them, so why try? And eating is a balm for that. Either emotional undereating or overeating is a balm for that. It could be that you don't know you'll eat because you might get your needs met, but then it's almost like getting your needs met makes you more afraid because you're afraid it's going to go away or it's never going to happen again. And we can all relate to that in terms of deprivation-driven eating, right? Which is what I think a lot of emotional eating actually is. It's we're eating out of deprivation. And we're eating out of deprivation from actually getting our full calorie needs met. We're eating out of deprivation of the foods we actually want to eat. And or combined, we might be eating because this is the closest thing to feeling some kind of numbness or relief or a break. I just call it a break from all those beliefs and feelings that we think are too much, or there's something wrong, or we're not enough. So I just gave you a ton of information there. So I'd like everybody, when you're watching this live, if you're here live, if you're watching the replay, I want you to think about that. Where am I consciously, unconsciously, and consciously could be like, I know what I want. I'm just afraid I can't get it. Or I believe that it's too hard for me to get it. Or I'm afraid to go after it, to ask for it. Where is that happening in your life? And how is that shown up through your food? So that's your question for the day. And if you are like, what did you just say? Go back and watch this entire video and then answer those questions. Get a sheet of paper and a pen and really think about and I know in these times, none of us actually are going to get our full needs met. It's just a time of resources maybe just not there right now, and that's really hard to cope with. So it might show up for you in being able to trying to manage something, food with again, emotional under or overeating. It could be that I've got financial resources, but I just miss hugging people, or I just miss seeing people more often, or having freedom of movement. That all stuff is real, so that needs to be on your list. And in that case, every single one of us right now is really called to try to fill our tanks the best we can with the creativity and ability we have. And if you're feeling like, Tracy, I can't even hear this right now, I'm just too tired for all that, acknowledge that and maybe take some time to rest. And that might mean purposeful watching TV, purposeful doing art, not numbing out into things if at all possible, but being very intentional about the things you're doing. So you can tell what is the energy drain and what is at least keeping you at neutral and maybe filling you up. So please take some time with all this. It's a lot of information. I try to go into depth with things so you can stay focused, you can stay grounded, and stay the course right now. In this times and then in all times in your recovery, because we're all going to get off track. Not a problem. It's more about like, oh, I can tell a difference between working through something hard and when some part of me is just saying that you can't do this and, you know, I'm out. I'm going to go back to like old patterns. So we want to do all this stuff with intent. So thank you all so much for watching this week. I hope this series on emotional eating and all like the nuances of it deeper than just like, yes, it's fine, don't beat yourself up. But I want you all to have actual solutions, because most people tell me when we talk about emotional eating is that they don't want to judge or blame themselves for it. They have compassion for it, but we want it to be intentional, and we don't want it to be just this thing that takes us like 10 years to figure out how to manage. This video series is for you if that's where you're at. So thank you all so much for watching. Next week, we are going to be talking about why I talk about regulation so much. So I'm just going to go all in. We're going to talk about window tolerance. We're going to talk about all kinds of really cool stuff. And I may not necessarily have a theme each day. I just want to like talk about the themes that I feel are the missing pieces in any kind of disordered eating recovery. Super important. So I will talk to you all next week. And if you felt this video was valuable to you, you found value in it, you feel like supporting me and everything I'm doing here, is that please pass this along to those who could benefit. So I really appreciate you. Thanks, and bye for now.